Well, good evening and welcome to another episode of Fast Break, where we break down the NJCAA Region 16 along with the Jefferson County Activities Association high schools, and we'll have a ton of other things here. We'll have a player of the week going on as well, and special coach tonight here will be Brian Gilbert from the Windsor Owls, and you see our we keep bringing in somebody new here. Scott Lotto here in the middle, though, by the way. And Jeff Whitener is going to be with us here a little bit here as well. Ray Halbrook.
I drew the short straw this week.
He did draw the short straw. So Ray Halbrook here today. Wanted to say hello and thanks for being with us. We appreciate that. And going to be a fun one here today, Scotty. And, we are ready for episode 7, my friend.
A lot of ground to cover here, but let's get to it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Jeff Whitener is with us, my friend Jeffrey. You are going to be delving into a ton of the districts a little bit later, but you've got a plethora of things to talk to us about as well.
I always have a plethora of things racing through my mind, guys.
I love it.
I'm ready to go.
I love it. I love it. Stay tuned. We'll be back here with more stuff for Fast Break.
Hi, this is Bill Rubel with APB Storage. APB Storage is a locally owned and operated family business that offers the best storage solutions in the Jefferson County area. Our electronic gate gives you 24-hour access to your storage unit, and our state-of-the-art security system provides peace of mind and security. All of the units provide an easy access drive-up doors to allow a stress-free way to your unit. Come see why people prefer the APB storage experience. Give us a call at 636-464-5629 or visit us online at apbstorage.com.
Church is more than just an hour in a pew every Sunday. It's a community. It's where you can come as you are. It's a place where you can connect with God, learn from Scripture, and grow as you build relationships. It's a place where it's okay to be a work in progress. At Faith Community, you'll find an authentic group of people who are pursuing God and supporting one another along the way as we move from where we are to where God wants us to be. Wherever you're at on your journey, you are welcome here.
At Girardi Agency Missouri Farm Bureau, we're dedicated to safeguarding your present and securing your future. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or business insurance, we offer comprehensive coverage tailored to your needs. We would love the opportunity to earn your business. Our office has been located in Hillsborough for over 30 years. Please contact our office today for a quote, 636-797-5800.
It's time to take a look at the NJCAA Region 16 standings, and we're going to start with the ladies here. You see the overall record and then the smaller record. That is what we have according to the NJCAA Region 16 website there. So 20-7, the North Central Pirates, they're 2-0. 16-8 for the Jefferson Vikings, they're 4-6 on the record. 8-16 for the Metropolitan Wolves, 0-2. I'm not sure if that's quite correct, but we'll see. And then the unfortunate St. Louis Community College Archers, they're 0-28, 0-5 in the conference as well. And, we saw tons and tons of basketball this past weekend, 6 games total. And I'll just getting an idea of what to look at in the NJCAA Region 16, some good games, some not so good games. We saw an upset this weekend, and Scotty was awesome enough to have that and privileged enough to have that particular game. But, taking a look at, a lot of the stuff that we covered here first, because I want to save that for last. But, the Jefferson College, we were over at Jefferson College Friday night and Saturday afternoon, and Jeff was with me as well, and we just had a ton of fun because Friday night, they haven't had this in 40 years, but they had the homecoming, first time in 40 years, and just the atmosphere there was just so electric. It was so cool. It felt to me almost like being at a SLU game. And Jeff, I'm gonna pump it over to you to give your thoughts on that as well.
Well, it was a great atmosphere, a great packed house at Hillsborough Friday night. Great job by the Black Student Union on campus that organized this whole thing. They actually had a homecoming king and queen from the students, and also one from the early child care center there.
Yeah.
And just great fun, all kinds of activities going on. And Friday night we saw a great girls game, as well as the Vikings took North Central College to overtime. And that one, they were down by 3, and Josie Allen, the Jeffco guard, had to go to the line and hit 3 free throws to send it to overtime, and she did just that. But the Vikings lost by 1 in that game, coming away. But they're certainly capable, even in this region tournament, of jumping up and beating any of these teams.
Absolutely. I mean, I was real impressed with the competitiveness on both sides, with seeing North Central as well, seeing Metropolitan. You know, that game, I felt like both games obviously were winnable for the Vikings. And, you know, nothing to be ashamed of going into the Region 16 tournament now, but they'll be taking their trip out to North Central because they ended up winning the conference. And so
Is that
it'll
out
be
by
fun.
Kansas City somewhere?
Yeah, it's out in Trenton. It's between
Trenton, okay.
Kansas City and Kirksville. So up in that North Central area that
Hence the name.
Hence the name North Central. That's
Gotcha.
right. So there you go. Jump over to the men's group here, and the men look like this. 27-1. Uh-oh, we have a loss for North Central on the men's side here. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I believe that record is more than 2-0. I believe that's probably at least 3-1, 4-1, something like that, 5-1. And so we'll give the NJCAA Region 16 website a little bit of a pass on the records there, but I believe the overall records are correct here. 14-14 for the St. Louis Archers, 1-5 on the season there in the conference. For the Metropolitan Wolves, 15-13, 1-1 in conference, and then the 10-17 Vikings there, 3-8 in the conference. That's how they end up, and they will be playing all of their games also at North Central. So they're definitely got things set up. It's all wrapped up right now at this point, and even the men, I really kind of felt like, and I've been talking to CB quite a bit this week and in weeks prior about just the amount of growth that's happened between last season and this season. Last year, the first time in 35 years, we had a men's team, and the growth has just been unbelievable. I don't know, what's your thoughts there, Jeff?
It's an entire cultural change, not only with the teams, with the entire school at Hillsborough and how they're looking at basketball, as opposed to great coaches that have come in the past, and they come in and they coach, and they may not live in the community, they may not be there full time. The Walker family has really set down roots in Hillsborough and really gotten themselves dove headlong into the community in lots of different ways, and it's created a climate, a culture. It's a family affair, family culture over there. It's a very pleasant experience, and I think really Coach Walker and his number one mission is to help develop these young people, be they men or women, into outstanding humans and outstanding citizens. And I think he's doing a great job, and I think the community's picking up on that, and I can feel the support building over there. And I think it's just a matter of time before we're able to take this fledgling men's program, only 2 years now, they've got 10 victories on this season, and really turn it into something that can be highly competitive and really battle some of the top teams in the conference.
Scotty?
Yeah, what kind of really strikes me about Coach Walker is, I mean, he's a very charismatic guy, but we've also done some local high school games where we'll spot him there where he's scouting someone or whatever, and he just draws a crowd. I mean, he's very personable, he's very relatable, and like you said, he really has brought the culture back. And you talk about homecoming, you talk about re-upping the men's program. It just really enhances the whole program.
Let's talk about the big elephant in the room, the St.
What
Louis.
could that be?
The St. Louis Archers absolutely stunning the North Central Pirates there, winning 80-79.
81 to 80.
81 to 80, is that what it
Yes.
was? 81 to 80. My apologies on that. But what was funny about that particular game, we're covering the Jeffco game, but I had that on my phone on the side. And I'm like, oh, you're saying there's a chance, and it was throughout the entire game. I mean,
Yeah.
I think at one time the Archers had a 10-point lead,
Yeah.
12-point lead, something like that, and so it was just an impressive win overall. I thought, Scott, your thoughts?
It's one of the most fun games I've gotten to call, in this whole 5-6 year run with Livestream STL. The score at halftime was 40-40.
Yeah.
And, we were, me and Kaplinger, he's, doing all his stuff, and we're sitting there looking back at each other like, you don't want to say anything because you don't want to necessarily give that announcer's jinx.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, you just kind of like, okay, at some point North Central is just going to hit the gas and they're going to take off. But every time North Central would have like some sort of run, the Archers would answer. And not only just answer, but then they would like double down and they would like just keep ahead of them.
Right.
So it got down to the end in like the final few seconds. And then, we kind of talked about, the Hillsborough Festus ending where it's like, it was 80-79, or excuse me, it was 81-80. And there was a foul with 1.4 seconds to go, which sent North Central to the free throw line. And we're like, this is how it's going to, heartbreak's going to happen. The first free throw got missed, and we're like, okay, you could kind of feel the tension in the building. And then the second free throw missed and kicked off to the right. And then I'm just sitting there looking at the clock, and I'm like, and the Archers win it. It was like,
Yeah.
it was just so intense.
Yeah.
And like everyone just went like bananas.
Yeah, Jeff, the conversation I had actually with the AD at Jefferson about this particular game. He goes, it didn't that game did not surprise me at all. He goes, for some crazy reason, the Archers find a way to play up against the bigger teams.
Well, and you see that a lot in a lot of sports. We were talking yesterday. I was talking to some of the R7 boys players about how Grandview, a team which has been down this year, gives them fits. It gave them fits in 2 games, and
Right.
they were barely able to beat them the first time. Now, Grandview didn't have a very good record this year, but they just matched up for some reason well, and you see it in all sports. You see it in softball, I'm sure, Scotty.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because that game, Jefferson College played North Central Friday night, and then North Central had to turn around and play St. Louis the next day, less than 24 hours. So after your game went final, I announced that final score to the crowd over at Jefferson College during the men's game. And then I also added the caveat that we obviously wore them down for St. Louis Community College.
And me and Kaplinger kind of had that same conversation. Like, you might want to give just a tip of the cap to Jeffco for,
We're
possibly
going to take a little bit
out
of
of
credit.
their tank.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, let's take a look at the NJCAA Region 16 men and women. We'll be back here with the JCAA standings. Let's take a look at the JCAA small school standings right now. And we're going to buzz through this real quick here because we want to spend plenty of time with Mr. Whitener here breaking down the districts. So we're going to buzz through this real quick. 22-3, the St. Vincent Lady Indians, who are ranked 4th in the state right now, taking care of business. Blue Jays here of Jefferson 13-11, Crystal City 10-15. Grandview 9-12, Herculaneum 5-19. You'll see their conference records there in the small print there. Over to the small school boys. 17-8. The Jefferson Blue Jays, they've got that wrapped up 4-0. 13-11 St. Vincent, 7-16 Grandview, 4-23 Crystal City Hornets, and the Herculaneum Blackcats at 3-18. Moving over to the large schools. 21-2, the Hillsborough Hawks. Still one game left to play, but it sure looks like they're going to go into a tie with the Festus Tigers there at 19-5 at 7-1 in the particular conference. 11-10 for the Windsor Owls. DeSoto's at 11-13, and the Perryville Pirates 8-16. We did get an update on their records. On the large school side, 16-6, the Windsor Owls going 7-0, doing the sweep of the JCAA large schools there. Festus at 14-10, 11-11, the Hillsborough Hawks, 10-12, the Perryville Pirates, and 4-20 for the DeSoto Dragons. As we pull away from this real quick, all of these are pretty much wrapped up with the exception of Hillsborough right now basically taking care of business with Perryville because they've got one more game with Perryville. You guys' thoughts here on, to me, my surprise team is definitely the Windsor Owls this year. They have been absolutely dominant, Jeff.
And with the loss of Noah Barnes leaving the district and moving to St. Louis County, who's, by the way, just signed to go to St. Louis Community College, if you mix that, folks. So he'll be in addition to the Archers here in the near future. But Noah Barnes, one of our standouts from last year, leaving that team, and you would have thought left kind of a hole in that team, especially from the guard position. But they've gotten great play from Leighton Hollis, Owen Hagel, across the board. And I would say they're probably my surprise too. Not that they would be good, but that they would be as good as they have been.
Yeah. Scotty, your thoughts?
Yeah, like I said, it's just I got to kind of tip my cap to the coaching staff a little bit. Whenever you lose, you're kind of like your marquee player, and then you get, that next level to kind of, assert themselves. Just take your hat off to them. That's well done.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go buzz over here to the districts. I want to go into the districts assignments right away with the JCAA small girls. And Jeff, I'm going to have you do the breakdown because I know you weren't with us last week, and we're glad you're back and you're feeling better. But taking a look here at the district assignments here for the small school girls, St. Vincent, the Class 2 District 3.
Class 2 District 3 for St. Vincent shouldn't be an issue. As they're going through right now. They've got Chaffee is the host team in that district. Now they have Charleston and Meadow Heights. Meadow Heights has had a decent season down there. It's our buddy Tim Winkler, former Grandview coach down at Meadow Heights, and Puxico in that department. But you're talking about in St. Vincent a fourth ranked ranked team in the state right now in Class 2, and I don't see anybody stopping them on their way. I do think they're a Final Four team, and of course, once you get to the Final Four, anything can happen. They're the best team I've seen all season long, and I'd be willing to say they're the best team. I think that they could play competitively and beat any team in Jefferson County, regardless of class. That includes Seckman, Northwest, and Fox as well. Wow. That's how good they are. They were fun to watch for sure. Crystal City's hosting their tournament in District 4. They've got Bismarck, Brentwood, Rossetti Kane, and St. Paul and Valley in that conference. There's a couple teams in there that could win. I don't see Crystal being able to come out of that one. There's going to be an uphill battle. Bismarck's a pretty decent team in that district as well. But what a great experience for a couple of their freshman starters. They're going to get that feel for what it's like to district play and that competition, that stress, that pressure. That's good for them. It's going to bode well for the future. Looking at your Class 3 teams, Jefferson, with the Blue Jays, you've got a very talented team. You have to wonder about their consistency on a day in and day out basis. I've seen them, obviously, as a team that I work for and cover a lot. I've seen them capable of beating just about anybody. They took Hillsborough to a 1-point victory. They almost beat Hillsborough. They almost
overtime, wasn't it?
Yeah, they took them to overtime. Arcadia Valley is the host in this visit. They play Kelly tonight in the first round. They should be able to get by Kelly, but Woodland's a decent team, and Arcadia Valley is probably the favorite in that district. And it all depends which team shows up. You've got a team full of really type A type competitors whether it's basketball or other sports. But as long as they don't get in their head too much, they're capable of doing anything.
There you go. You want to elaborate on the other two?
We have Grandview in District 3. They're in against a pretty good Bell team. Bourbon is the host in that district. Kingston is in that district, and Steelville.
I think they have Steelville first, don't they?
Steelville is probably the favorite to come out of that district. You know, I would love to see Catherine Wakeland over there in her senior year get to make a deep run in that district, and who knows, anything can happen. But I would say Steelville's probably the favorite coming out of that one.
Okay. Herculaneum there, Class 4, District 2.
Class 4, District 2, let me look at that real quick. I know that it's been a very challenging season for Doc Carranza over there. You know, you've got a very good Park Hill Central team in that district, a pretty decent Perryville team. St. Pius girls have been up and down this year. Not a season that they thought that they would have. Potosí's not bad, and then you have St. John. And I really think coming out of that district, you're probably going to see Park Hill Central or St. John in that championship game.
All right. Let's take a look at the men's, the boys' side here as well. And we'll start with St. Vincent. They're Class 2, District 4.
Class 2, District 4 for the boys. You know, St. Vincent has kind of had a mediocre year for them. In talking to their coaching staff down there, they wish, or they're hoping to shoot the ball better. They've had problems shooting this year. They've got a fairly young team, and they missed out on their great football player, Boston Turley, opted not to play basketball this year because he's got several football offers, and he's one of these kids that could play multiple sports, but in his particular case, and not wanting to get injured, it's as a lineman, I can totally understand and respect his decision to not play. But they've got in their district, they've got Crystal City. Crystal City lost last night, so they're out. Bismarck, Brentwood, Meadow Heights, and Valley, and that's kind of a wide open district in my opinion, guys. St. Vincent's certainly capable of coming out of that one and winning it, even with their record on the season. So should be interesting.
Awesome. Class 3, District 3 there for the Blue Jays.
Class 3 District 3 is a district that I am currently working. We had our quarterfinal games last night. Kingston beat Grandview to knock Grandview out of in their season, and Valley Catholic took care of St. Pius. Out of those four teams, and Valley Catholic, the 3 seed, they impressed me the most probably of all four. But Kingston played very well too, and it's going to be a very good game tomorrow night down at Jefferson R7. R7 is probably the favorite to win that district. They've defeated all of these teams, although they did lose to Valley once in a close score. But anytime you're dealing with a young team who's starting 3 sophomores, consistency of play is always the challenge with the younger group. So it'll be interesting to see if they've developed enough of the mentality, the emotional intelligence to be able to close out games and to really win in this higher pressure situation. They're certainly capable. They've got the talent on paper to win it for sure, but we'll see. Valley Catholic and West County are both going to give them fits.
You've already talked about Grandview. Unfortunately, their season is done there. Herculaneum Black Hats there in Class 4, District 2.
Class 4, District 2 is a nightmare scenario for the Black Cats with Park Hill Central and Potosí in that district. Potosí is a top 10 rated team in the state right now. And you've got Park Hill Central too, and it's going to be between those two games. And you know, St. John's not no chicken scratch either, but it's going to be between Potosí and Park Hill Central, and I think Potosí's got enough to make a deep run into that thing and definitely get into the state sectionals.
Excellent. Let's jump over here to the large school girls here. We've got the big 3 here, Class 5 District 1s here between DeSoto, Festus, and Hillsboro. So let's tackle that one there, Jeff.
You know, Class 5 District 1, we always have a lot of Jefferson County teams lumped in there, but you also have Sykeston, Poplar Bluff and in North County and Cape Central, and as well as Farmington on the girls. And this is a district with some very good teams. The Cape Central teams had a good year. Farmington's had a good year on the girls' side. Hillsborough certainly has the talent to come out and win this one against these other teams. They went down south earlier in the season, didn't do too well down southeast Missouri. However, the way they're playing right now, the play they're getting, not just from the guards and the usual suspects, and whether it's the Matlocks or the Hiltons, but they're also getting good play from several other of their periphery players. So that district to me is wide open, and Festus could jump up and beat people too. You'll interview any of these coaches, and I've talked to several this time of year, and you'll say, well, how's the team looking right now? And they all basically say the same thing. If we play the way we're capable of playing, we're going to be okay, but we just don't know what we're going to get from night to night. Yeah. And almost every coach, to a man or woman, says that same thing. So I think that one's wide open. You could see probably 4 or 5 teams jump up and have a shot at that district.
Absolutely. The Windsor Owls in that Class 5 District 2, they're going to be playing up towards St. Louis. So what's your thoughts on that one?
Well, they've got their works cut out for them. In that district, you have Cardinal Ritter, you have Lift for Life, you have Nerix Hall, St. Joseph's Academy, Windsor. They're probably going to be up against one of those very top-rated private school teams in the first round, and unfortunately for them, it's probably going to be moving on to spring sports very soon.
Yeah. And rounding it out here, Class 4 District 2 for the Perryville Lady Pirates.
Lady Pirates, Class 4 District 2. Haven't given that a whole lot of thought. This has been kind of a down year for Perryville. They don't have some of the size, some of the long players they've had in the past. But in that district, here again, you've got Park Hill Central, you've got St. John, you've got Potosi Girls. St. John, Park Hill Central, probably the odds-on favorites to come out of that district in the championship game. In a young Perryville team, it'll be a good learning experience for them to go through. But that St. John is the host for that one, and that will probably propel them, I think, into the championship game against Park Hill Central.
Excellent. Let's take a look at the large school boys here. We got the big three again: DeSoto, Festus, Hillsborough in that Class 5 District 1.
Here again, you've got a bunch of county schools lumped in there in Class 5 District 1. It doesn't matter. You've got Cape Central in that district. You've got a North County, a Poplar Bluff, a Sykeston. I cannot see how any of these teams, including the teams from Jefferson County, will be able to beat Farmington in their record. They've only lost 2 games on the season. They're a top 10 ranked team in the state, and I think they're going to make a deep run in the state playoffs. They've got great guard play. They've got great inside play, inside the paint. They're an in-and-out team, like you would see like at Jefferson College girls. They've got great guard play, but it's sort of an in-and-out, in the middle type of thing, and then out on the perimeter shooting. And I can't see anybody beating Farmington in that district, unfortunately.
Sykeston
was probably, the best bet. Maybe a Cape Central could come up and make a run for that, but I just don't see anybody touching This is the only district I almost feel is a lock.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. Windsor there, that Class 5 District 2, back up in St. Louis again.
Windsor, because of their geography, they always get lumped with the county schools, unfortunately. And instead of being able to play some of their rivals in the district, it'd be a lot funner if they got to play in there with a Hillsborough, DeSoto teams in their conference. Mm-hmm. They've got Lutheran South, Pacific, Rockwood Summit, Vianney, Washington, good team, Webster Groves, and then there's some team called St. Mary's Southside in that district. So Zyrie Collins and company have been playing much better as the season goes on, and they're my pick to win that district, and maybe the Windsor Owls might be able to jump up and win one game in that district. I don't think that's been seeded yet.
No,
but it'll be interesting to see how that's seeded, and maybe they can jump up and grab a game. But as our friend Matt Bates would say, they're going to have some tough sledding.
Tough sledding. There you go. Last one there, the Perryville Pirates in that Class 4 District 1.
Class 4 District 1. Interesting. And Perryville's had a sort of an interesting season, but they've got Cape Notre Dame, Kennett, and an extremely good Fredericktown team in there this year. Dexter and Donovan, and actually Fredericktown will probably, as the host team, will probably be the favorite to come out of that district. And I don't see Perryville. Perryville plays a very fast game. They like to sub in 5 at a time and keep things running the whole time, and they're very fun and very entertaining to watch. But I don't see them being able to get past Fredericktown.
There you have it. Let's put together maybe our thoughts on who makes the deep run from Jefferson County.
Boy, in Jefferson County.
Over all 4?
Overall 4.
Boy, that's a tough one.
I got to go chalk here. I got to go with the Hillsboro Hawks.
Yeah, I think Hillsboro Festus girls could as well. Jefferson could possibly pop out of there girls-wise. We'll just see. I mean, that's a tough one there, but Jefferson boys, we're hoping that.
I was going to say, out of anyone,
yeah.
I would think it would be, as far as winning a district, with the teams that they have in there, Jefferson boys probably have the best shot of it, any of them.
Okay. There you have it. There you are. And that's why we have you in, Jeff, because you are a plethora of knowledge.
He sees all.
He sees all.
I've just seen a lot of games, folks, worked a lot of games. That's all it is.
Call him the Swami. So there you go. There you go. Well, we'll be back in just a moment with another segment.
The House Bar and Grill at your Festus Pasta House is your place to watch all local high school sports live. That's right, I said live. Come in and enjoy all local high school sports brought to you live on our 5 big screen TVs from Livestream STL. Also enjoy our happy hour menu, which includes half-price pizzas, discounted appetizers, and drink specials. We are the best place to gather for your local high school sports, brought to you by Livestream STL at your Festus Pasta House on Highway A, where it's always a great time.
It is now time for our Player of the Week, brought to you by Pasta House in Festus. And we have none other than Nolan Eisenbeis from the Crystal City Hornets. Nolan, my friend, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. Hey, man, it took you to the very, very last game of the season, but you got 1,000 points, so congratulations on that. And that's one of the main reasons why we wanted you to be on this particular week here. But what was it like getting 1,000 points?
It felt good, all the 4 years of hard work, but I made it interesting definitely towards the end. I had like 30 points to go with 3 games left, and made sure I stretched it to all 3 games.
Excellent. Now, you're no slouch on our points right now. You are currently in the top 25 in overall offense right now, and you just literally today overtaken Leighton Hollis. Now you're at 19.5, averaging 19.5 points on a game on the season. You had 500 points just this season, so you made half of your 1,000 points just in your senior year here. So congratulations on that. Let us know kind of what your season's been as a whole this season.
Yeah, well, I mean, we missed out on – a lot of seniors left last year, so it was – me and Evan kind of knew that it was like we got to take over and do our thing, and he played incredible, and we kind of fed off each other's energy. So when he played good, I played good, and vice versa. So it was us two really making things happen.
Right. You had some ups and downs with the season and whatnot, and I believe you guys are you guys still playing right now at this point for districts?
No, we lost to Meadow Heights.
Okay. So season's over. I know baseball season's right around the corner, so I know you're probably thinking about that too. Let's talk about that for a quick second, because we just talked about it right before we got on the air here. And you have committed literally just recently here to Jefferson College for baseball. What has that process been like?
It definitely hasn't been easy, but it's been it's been amazing to be able to just. I mean, the recruiting process is always tough, trying to figure out where you want to go and like what fits you. But I think once I went and on my visit to Jeffco, I think I committed the next day that it felt right. It was where I wanted to be.
Well, you're going to get some extra publicity here from Livestream STL because we do the games over there for Jeffco as well. So not all the games, but we do some. So we'll be happy to cover you and see you down the road here for baseball this season, but also next season. So congratulations on being Player of the Week, and we definitely rooting for you in your corner here, and hope you have an amazing career.
All right, thank you guys.
Nolan Eisenbeis from the Crystal City Hornets. It's time for our pick and roll segment here, and we have on the line right now, we have Coach Brian Gilbert from the Windsor Owls here. Coach, how you doing, sir?
Doing good.
Awesome. Our pick and roll segment, we picked some random questions here for you, and just kind of wanted to highlight the JCAA large school boys champs here, and thought we'd pick on you a little bit here, but good. We got some good questions for you. So, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. After a slow start out of the gate at 2-3 early in the season here, your squad seemed to really hit its stride in mid-December. What was there some sort of catalyst that propelled your team, or just buildup of team chemistry?
Well, I think it's always a little bit of a combination of sorts. We went into that Southside tournament. We played some good schools that got us sped up a little bit. But I think a lot of it too is just kind of finding. Every team has its own identity, and we had some young guys stepping up, trying to figure out their role. Some guys getting the new roles. So there's always that kind of, your first 4 or 5 games are just an extension of practice, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And I think after that Southside tournament, we went 2-3, and then we kind of got into this die course and started getting some momentum with just kind of leaning on our defense and playing to our strengths, which is moving the ball around and letting anybody get a great look as long as it's a great look.
Excellent. After being an assistant coach for a while and finally getting your shot to guide the program, what are some of the takeaways you were able to absorb from the coaches before you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for 13 years now, which is crazy to think. But with each coach, you always see things you like, see things you don't like. From back when it was, Dutton to Gilman to now, and then McCarthy. I think definitely under the McCarthy era, I really tried to soak up the most. He challenged me every day, and that's something that we carry on in our program. Every day is a challenge. Every day you challenge yourself to learn something new, and just the way that you can just see his commitment. I think that buy-in, and that if you want your players to be bought in, you better be bought in with them. And just that kind of almost like a PhD of sorts in basketball is what we talk about. And it's one of those where you have to be in the trenches with the guys, have a 30,000-foot view while you're going step by step and staying humble across the process. But I think it's just, you learn what works and what doesn't, and you have to do everything in your style too. You can't go, you can't recreate any sort of magic that anybody else does. It has to come from, intrinsically within. And, so definitely being able to be adaptable, but also, stick true to what works for you.
Good philosophies there, Coach. I appreciate that. In a previous interview we did with you, you noted previous coaching experiences with 7th graders. One in particular ended with a tough championship loss, but you were able to come back the next year and guide the team to a championship victory. How are you able to turn a loss into a positive with your players?
Well, unfortunately, that's how you learn in this world. Failure is the greatest motivator and teacher you can have. And again, like we talked about early in this season alone, those early losses and some games we should have won in our mind, they propel you to look within. And every coach obviously wants to win every game, but when you lose some of those tough ones, you really see what changes need to be made, and what As a coach, you always look, I was once told a great coach knows how to, shoulder blame and spread the credit. And that's something that, there's always, a growing in my philosophy is just like, what could I have done better? And what do our players need to grow through this? And, a lot of it just comes down to accountability and leadership and having players that can hold each other accountable. And then you can get to lean on those leaders to be player led. And, I think, when you're dealing with 16, 17-year-old kids, you got to go through the ups and downs and understand the perspective is get better every day.
Yeah. Excellent. A core value with us here at Livestream STL and our team is family and community. Who are some of the biggest supporters and inspirations in your circle?
Well, definitely biggest supporter goes to my wife. She's, she does the heavy lifting in the family for sure. We've got a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and 5-month-old at home. So her hands are always pretty busy, and she brings all those boys to the game. I feel so bad for her having to carry the stroller, this, that, doesn't have enough hands. And then when I get home after a tough loss or a long night, she, sometimes gives me the space, sometimes picks me up. I mean, she's the rock for sure. She played college softball growing up, so she knows the life of sports and the demand and the grind it takes to be successful. And then, I'd say another big supporter would just be my dad. He was a college basketball player himself, and it's just a guy who can always tell me not what I want to hear, but what I need to hear.
Right.
And that's, those tough conversations are important in growth.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And I'm glad you've got good, solid pieces around you. That's really, really key. Last question for you. We'll let you go here. We appreciate the time being with us too here. By supporting students in multiple sports, how do you think the benefit carries over from one to the other?
Yeah, no, we definitely preach multi-sport athletes. We got tons of kids in our team that go to track or they go to baseball, a few football players, a couple soccer players as well. But we just want kids to be active and stay in shape. Obviously, we're a little partial to our own sport. Every coach is. But there's definitely a big carryover in keeping kids bought in the school, staying involved, staying active. And then opportunities to grow that leadership, to grow that voice in that circle and be challenged. We trust our other coaches and trust other programs to build off of the intangibles we instill in our players. And we love getting to see our guys go out and excel in everything they do because it's a business of people here, and you got to buy in on those guys and showing up to their baseball games and seeing them play soccer and football. It's funny to see them in that different role, and I think there's a huge benefit to it, and we supported all as many as we can get to go multi-sport.
Excellent. Well, man, we appreciate the time, and I know you've got a couple of weeks here, or a week and a half, I guess, or so before districts start for you, and congratulations on the large school boys championship here for the JCAA conference, by the way. And been a long time coming. I know there's been a ton of runs with Hillsboro and Festus and others.
20 years.
It's been
20 years since we were solo.
How about that? So congratulations on that, and good luck to you going into districts this year.
Thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it. Coach Brian Gilbert from the Windsor Owls.
Cloak.
I like it.
And
a special hat
maybe a
for
turban.
the Hoops Whisperer. So.
Still too ethnically charged.
Ethnically charged? What's that all about?
The turban.
Well, it'd be like a magician.
And that was also kind of like a back. Who was that guy?
That's the Swami too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lynn Berman.
Yeah.
Got it.
Is he still alive?
Yes. Yes. Back. It's time for the Hoops Whisperer. We've been rolling here, and while Scotty is talking about his new wardrobe, we'll see if he ends up finding something for next episode here. But it's time for the Hoops Whisperer, and we, Jeff, you've seen the Hoops Whisperer before.
It's been one of the greatest privileges of my life
Really?
to witness the Hoops Whisperer.
There you have it. All right. I love it.
I thought you were talking about the movie The Horse Whisperer. That with Robert Redford.
Oh, that
good.
was
No,
a good
the
one.
Hoops
Yeah.
Whisperer. The
Oh,
Hoops. Okay. The
okay.
Hoops. That's a whole other thing, folks.
Okay. Well, the Hoops Whisperer. And it's now time to just turn it over to see what Scott has this time around for us, because I'm kind of scared.
Everyone close their eyes.
Close your eyes.
Concentrate.
Everyone's
Think good thoughts. Here we go. It's the Hoops Whisperer. Take it away, Scotty.
So, in episode 6, I was inspired to compose a short poem inspired by this season's athletes and offered an open horse stables shoot-around challenge, which is still open for any of the JCAA.
Horse challenge. I love
Horse stables, because I can't just do 5 because I'll miss those first 5 and I'll be out. So you got horse stables.
it. Okay.
So
I like it.
So open challenge to the JCAA coaches, men's, women's, whatever. But anyway, in this episode of Fast Break, however, I want to hit pause for a moment. With Livestream STL getting to cover this area talent for the JCAA and the NJCAA at the high school and JUCO level, as the great Jeff Whitener would say, or the professor, Coach Lee Richardson, it's been a privilege to call these games.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's been engaging and exciting. I want to hit pause for everyone who gets caught up in the daily minutia. Obviously the youth sports, the
What
college
is that?
athletics.
What is minutia?
It's like the flow, everything that's just
All right.
kind of, the water over the rocks.
All right. Love it.
But I just want to be able to, have them step back and kind of savor these moments. To be conference champions, the underdogs pulling the unthinkable upsets, the new blood in the coaching ranks, and all these very cool memories that are being made that we get to capture. So
Nice.
I just want everyone to kind of, just hit pause and just kind of let it sink in, let it soak in a little bit, because in the blink of an eye, this will be something down the road, something to reminisce about. But for the here and now, let's all take a second and just appreciate being part of the experience for these young athletes who get to compete and entertain us. If they still made those kudos bars from back in the mid-'80s, I would give each and every one of you a kudos bar.
Oh, look at that. That was a nice Hoops Whisperer this time around. So I like it.
Right.
I like
They're
it.
always nice.
And speaking of kudos, I would be remiss when we were talking about JCA if we did not congratulate Crystal City's Nolan Eisenbeis, the
Yes.
senior, on just achieving the 1,000th milestone
Yes.
in his final game
Yes.
as a Hornet. And, of course, Nolan will be matriculating and playing baseball at Jefferson College next year, so you'll get to see more of him here right on Livestream STL.
I love it. I love it. That's our Hoops Whisperer moment here, and we'll be right back. Do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Dream big, show up, work hard. You'll be glad you did.
Folks, that's all we have tonight for Fast Break, and we appreciate Jeff being with us today to give us that deep dive into the districts. I love that. That was awesome. Scotty, always fun as well, and we will be back hopefully next week with some results on some of these districts, the small school districts, but we'll also we'll also have be looking a little deeper into the large schools because they'll just be getting started here. So, Jeff, final thoughts?
Well, and join us next week, and Ray will have a chance to look up the definition of the word minutia.
Minutia. I love it. I love it. Thanks for being with us. Don't forget, you can check out all of our games on livestreamstl.tv. That's our website. Also, check out our Roku channel there. Download the Livestream STL app on Roku. You'll be able to watch these on your TV. For Jeff Whitener, for Scott Lott, for Ray Halbrook, all of us here at Fast Break. So long.
This episode is brought to you by Livestream STL. Livestream STL covers Jefferson County and the South St. Louis area. For sponsorship opportunities for any of these events, call 314-852-4398. Sponsorships can be for a single game, complete season, or a custom package. Help spotlight the young athletes of our area and score a layup for your business with new potential customers.
Thanks for watching today's broadcast. Any unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Livestream STL is strictly prohibited.